welcome to our 2020 recap for Soulless Gaming. It's been a while. I think the last time we did a podcast or just like a recording in general, it was, when was that? Like last February or something, or last March, sometime around there.
Yeah, it's been a while. We did like the Sea of Thieves thing, but that doesn't. I don't know if that counts.
I mean, we talked a lot in it, but we didn't do anything like formally like this. We did record another episode, but can't remember why we didn't put that
There
one
were like
up.
some weird audio things.
There was a lot of
I
audio
remember.
issues.
Yeah, there were a lot of audio issues.
But we're back.
So we didn't upload that one.
We're back. We wanted to get a 2020 recap, just to kind of start off the year and hopefully continue on with the rest of the year and try to do at least a monthly recording, just to kind of like go over some topics we have in store. Just kind of keep up with.
There's gonna be a lot of good stuff going on.
Gaming news in general. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of cool stuff this year with Xbox Series X and S out now and PS5. There's gonna be a lot of cool games coming out, and it has all of us excited about them. And now the Switch is kind of like into its fourth year, or is it fourth year or fifth year now? I can't even remember. I think it's fourth year.
2017.
I think
so
fourth year. And last year was pretty quiet, even though it was a huge selling year for Nintendo. Like games wise, they sold a lot, and hardware wise, they sold a lot. But there wasn't a lot of like, I don't know. I wouldn't call blockbuster hits. So I think this year is the year they're gonna have to kind of pull those out. So it's gonna be a fun year. But a couple of things we want to get out before we kind of like get into like what's going to be happening the rest of this year. We wanted to do a retrospective on games that we played a lot over 2020. We had a lot of time to play games this past year because of everyone being home and just everyone working from home now and all that kind of stuff. So we were able to play a lot more games. So kind of like we're going to go over the games we beat. The games we played the most, and what was our favorite game in 2020. So I think we can just start off with the first one, with the games that we played and that we beat. So who would like to go first?
I can go first.
Go ahead.
Take it on.
Go for it, Hayden.
We're not doing all of them though. We're just gonna do a few
like
of
our top 5,
favorite ones we beat. Cause some of us beat a little bit more than
the others.
It'd be a long list.
Right.
Yeah, we can do just like top 5.
Yep. So it was a little tough. I played a lot of good games this year, like you said. This year was, we all had like a lot of time to just play video games. So, but my top 5 would probably be, I really enjoyed Mafia 1, the remastered version that came out. It was really cool. I had never even heard much about the first one. I just started out the second one and then really liked the second and third one. Mm-hmm. So to be able to go back and play the first one and see some like connections that you have, because like literally on the second one, you, like, it's a spoiler, but you kill the guy that you play as on the first one. I had no idea that connection was there. Yeah, and so that's one of the things that happens. That's how the end of the first one. That's a spoiler too. Anyways, I enjoyed that game a lot. It was really pretty, really pretty. They did a really great job remastering it. And then I, of course, liked The Last of Us Part 2. It was a really controversial game for some reason, when the basis of the game is, it's like flawless. That game is perfect. Like, combat and the story is what people get all worked up on, but I think they tried something really different. And then just gameplay in general, I've never played a more like fluid, just smooth game, and that game for sure is it. But it's right up there with Ghost of Tsushima, because I played and beat both of those this year, and so
both
definitely loved games,
by the way.
Yeah, both really pretty games, and I'm the only one in the group kind of lucky enough to be able to do that since I'm with the PS4, you know. But I really like those two. And then the rest of the list is kind of hard, but I'm going to throw it back a little bit to, I beat Max Payne 3 this year, or 2020. And I started that a long time ago, and then instead of just starting off where I left off a while ago, I just restarted the whole thing, and then I beat it. And I think it's one of those games where it's kind of overshadowed by GTA 5 because it came out. GTA 5 I think came out right after or around the same time as Max Payne 3, but Rockstar did a really good job, and there's a lot of work that went into it that clearly transitioned over to GTA and the success that it had. So I think, I don't know, I just really loved it. I guess I'll go with I said a lot of good games I beat, but Jedi Fallen Order was just one of those games that was both really pretty, and I've told you guys before that is like one of the few games I've played recently that brought me back to like a classic, I don't know, like an adventure game that we would play back in the day. Like I've tried to like think of a game to even compare it to, but I don't know. Like it gave me like a good feeling of just like a classic adventure game that we would play on like the GameCube or something like that. I don't know why. It just gave me a really good feeling. Really positive game. Like there wasn't like, I don't know, there just wasn't much negative I could say about it, and so I just really liked it. And great story, good gameplay, like down the line, just good game. And so, yeah, I played good games this year. Those are my top 5 right there, though.
We'll just go down the line.
Sweet.
Let's do Tanner.
I was trying to think of some story games that I actually played because mainly I'm just multiplayer. Seems like that's what everyone's been playing nowadays. But I did play Call of Duty Cold War. Honestly, just for being like a Black Ops or a Call of Duty game, they usually have pretty good campaign. And without giving out any spoilers, this one was probably like one of my favorite played. Besides like Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, even just Call of Duty Modern Warfare, it was one. But I don't know, I just like it because all those games, all the Black Ops games, it seems like there's always a choice that you could either get you killed or get someone else killed. And I like how they added a lot of just giving you the choice to change who you are. Because in that game, you can either be like the bad guy, you can be the Russian guy, or you can go and help the CIA. There's a lot of different changes. In my game that I played, I ended up being the Russian guy, and I ended up killing everyone. But that's just like one of the paths that you can take.
Great.
So it's really cool to be able to do that, which in that game was really pretty, surprisingly. Just because like the different art styles, I really like Modern Warfare for like a little bit more realistic look. For Cold War, I like the arcadey kind of like retro. So that one was really fun to play. And then honestly, I didn't really play a lot of other games except for I tried to beat Red Dead 2 and finally got through that, and I can say that's probably like one of the best campaign stories that you can ever play. Like I played like a lot of games, and that one definitely hits the top 5 there. And just because it starts off with just being whoever you want to be, just because of the whole honor, dishonor, like status that they have there, just depending on how you act with others can change how the whole ending is going to be like. For some people, it can be pretty trashy at the very end, depending on how you reacted with other people and if you helped anyone that was on the side of the road, or were nice to like all the people that were at your camp and did like the chores and stuff. I started off like being like a bad like robber guy. I was robbing people banks, but by the end of it, thankfully, I got Arthur to be the good guy, and I got to see that cool ending. And again, that's another game where you can definitely change how the outcome is. There's multiple endings to that.
I was gonna say, isn't there a ton of endings for that game?
Yeah, there's a lot. I think there's like either like 4 or 6 of something like that. So it's like a really good game. And I'm not gonna say I did, but I'm not gonna say I didn't. But there was a tear shed, maybe. Just because the ending is like really good. Just because, like looking at it, like you could honestly make a movie out of this game just because of how, like the art style is and just how everything is like put together and I can honestly see that as like a great movie. It definitely is like touching at like how everything changes and like some of the characters that start off as like normal people, but then you really get to know them and like how just different. It's just really cool. I really like it. But yeah, besides that, just multiplayer all the time.
Nice. So I'll go next. So I had a hard time picking which was like one of my
Somebody
top 5s.
played a lot of games this year.
I did well mainly in the past. I would say in the past like month and a half. I played a lot. Yeah, Preston played a lot of games. No. But I would probably say in my top 5, just like 2020, because I was trying to sneak in some other games I finished within the past couple of weeks, but I'll leave that till when we talk about like a 2021 recap. But I would say Doom Eternal for sure is in my top 5 for 2020. Something about that game, even going back to like the old Dooms, like the first Doom, it's just like perfect first person shooter gameplay. I can't think of another game that does first person shooter, like controls, like how the guns sound and feel. Everything's just perfect in Doom. And so like with Doom Eternal, after I'd played Doom 2016, I feel like there could have been a lot more done with the story, even though it's like Doom, you don't really care about the story. You're just some guy killing demons. But I feel like there still could have been more to like talk about like the Doom Slayer's like past and like where he came from. And Doom Eternal talks a lot about that.
A lot.
About like where he came from and like what he's a part of and like how he fits into like how the like everyone's coming to Earth and like killing everybody and how like the demons are taking over. So like that stuff was really cool, but man, the gameplay is just perfect. Like they just made what Doom 2016 was and just made everything better about it. A lot of people complain about like how convoluted some of the combat is and how you have to do certain things, like use certain guns to like progress in the game instead of just using like the super shotgun or something, which I think is cool that they kind of force you to do that in a fun way. It's not just like you have to use the rocket launcher, you have to use this. You can use all the guns, but you're gonna run out of ammo if you keep using the one gun that's the best, which is pretty much the super shotgun every time. But I like that you get to rotate between all the different guns that are available to you. You get to use the flames to get the armor. You get to do the melee attacks and stuff like that, and
the chainsaw.
Get the chainsaw, yeah. Because I feel like I never used the chainsaw in 2016. I never used it. I feel like I never had any gas for it. Like I never used it. But in Doom Eternal, I was using it all the time. So I don't know. That game to me is the perfect first-person shooter. Like if there ever was one, it's that. And I feel like the boss battle is, once you get there, for those who haven't played it yet, the boss battle is like the best boss battle game in the Doom series. Doom 2016's boss battle kind of sucked, but Eternal is awesome. Anyways, moving along. Probably my... I'm trying to think. Probably Doom 64, actually. Another Doom game. I really like Doom 64. Doom 64 was just... I never played... I've beaten Doom 1, like the original one. And I've beaten Doom 3, which is a way different type of game. But Doom 64 is kind of like the in-between between like what they were trying to do with Doom 3 and what they came from in Doom 2 and like Doom... can't remember what it's called. There's like another Doom before that, Doom Ultimate or something like that. So it's still like the old Doom stuff, but there's a lot more like exploration in Doom 64 and a lot more puzzle solving, and it's a little bit more creepy too. But I got that on Switch. It was like on sale for like $250 or something.
Yeah, we got it like the same day.
Yeah,
or like 1 or 2 days after.
I never put it down after I bought it. I just kept playing it, and I got all the way to the boss. And the boss is freaking hard, and if you don't come prepared, you're gonna get whooped. But yeah.
Did you go prepared, or did you get whooped?
I got whooped a lot. I got whooped so hard. The boss battle is freaking ridiculous because you run out of ammo really quick. But anyways, that was a really good game. Probably my other one would be... Oh man, a lot of these games I beat just within the past like month. Though, no, I would say Rage 2 is probably fits into there. It's probably right before. Rage 2 was really fun. I started playing it right when it came to Game Pass, whenever that was, like almost a year ago or something. And I just kind of thought like, whatever. It's just feels kind of samey, kind of like.
It's like if Doom and Borderlands had a baby.
Yeah, but it didn't feel good to me at the time. I don't know what it was. And then I picked it up again probably like in end of November, and I never stopped playing it after that. Like I just kept playing it, and it's a lot like Far Cry, and a lot like Borderlands, and a lot like Doom. And I love all three of those games, and it just puts all three of them together, and I just love the aspect of just going to like a place and like taking over the control point of like the raiders and stuff like that, and then upgrading your weapons, and it's a fun loop, and you get a really cool vehicle, but it lets you just like hover around the entire map, and so you can just fly around from like each place. You don't have to like drive at all. You just fly around from each place and just like you just land in, destroy it, go back in your little hover thing, and just fly to the next place. And that was really fun. I really, really like that game. And the boss battle on that is so much better than Rage 1. Rage 1 left me so disappointed. Because it was a really cool game, but the boss battle comes so abruptly. You're just like, this is the end of the game? What do you... It just comes out of nowhere. And it's not fun at the very end. So there's 3, but I'm going to throw a curveball, and Hayden actually played this game too. I don't know if he beat it, but Perfect Vermin.
Yeah, I beat it.
That game is weird, and it came out of nowhere. I saw you played it, and it kind of like I really like games
like the
like that.
top free game on Steam.
Yeah, it was like a top free game. I didn't see it. I saw that you had played it, and I was like, what the heck? So I just picked it up just on a whim. I'm just gonna try it out. You beat I think the game's only like 15 minutes long or something like that, or 20 minutes.
Yeah, it's more of like an experience type thing.
Yeah, but I really liked it. Like I thought it was really cool. It was really
it's weird
and creepy.
I've never seen anything about this game.
It's like a weird, scary, time looping, weird experience. I don't know.
Yeah.
You have to like memorize where certain things are, and
it's kind of nasty.
It gives you like a nasty feeling for sure. Like a I got like nasty. A sick feeling playing it.
But it was like really interesting. I want to play more games like that where like kind of quick, but like kind of like leaves an impact on you. Yeah. So that one was kind of cool. And then probably for my 5th one would probably be Tetris Effect. I really like that game. Hayden likes that game too.
You beat that game too quick though.
I beat that game really quick.
I remember I downloaded it and then I was like, "Hey, you want to play it?" And you're like, "Yeah, I just beat it." Like, okay.
It had just been added to Game Pass.
I got it and like beat it within like an hour or something. But I just really love Tetris, and I really like that has music in it. I remember looking at a lot about it when it first came out for PlayStation, because I think they added it to like PlayStation Plus or something like that when it first came out. Yeah, they did. And I just went, man, this game is so cool. And there's a video I was watching from some YouTuber. They were like talking about how the music was really cool once you like got farther into like a certain map, and how it like picks up a bit, and like you start like hearing like the beats as you're dropping the pieces down. And I was like, what in the world? This is like my type of game, because I love when like music is implemented into a game, and it kind of like it fits into like the gameplay aspect of it. When like if you like hit something, it makes like a beat, or if you like just if you're interacting with the world itself and it's making some type of reaction to the music. And that's what I really like, which you really need to make another one of, Elite Beat Agents.
Elite Beat Agents? Hey, that's what I was thinking of.
Because that is like, it's kind of has the same feel of it. I mean, it's way different types of games, but it's like, it gave me that type of like satisfaction. When you land a beat on Elite Beat Agents, it's the same type of thing when you like really like land like a cool like combo in Tetris Effect.
In Tetris, yeah.
Yeah, so, I don't know. That was probably my top 5 for 2020 that I beat.
Impressive.
Preston, what did you beat, Preston?
Uh-oh.
Me, well, I didn't beat any games in 2020.
Yeah, but what games, I guess, did you play the most? Because you could probably not play the most, but maybe you get the most fun with. We'll modify it a bit for you.
Because you got a new computer, and so you played a lot of VR stuff.
I don't know if it was new 2020, but I did play VR stuff. I do have a couple listed that I played. I almost beat in 2020, but yeah, I just didn't play a bunch of campaign games. Mostly just wanted to, hang out with you guys and play the multiplayer stuff and
Oh, thank
spend
you.
some time playing with you guys. You know, Soulless
So
crew.
honored.
And we had some good times. So even in 2020. But so let's see. So I was pretty close to beating Half-Life Alyx last year, but I checked on it at the end of the year. I was telling you guys, and for some reason I was revoked access to one of my friend's libraries, so I couldn't more, which stinks. But I mean, I should probably buy the game anyways with the time I put in, which has been quite a few hours. But it's a really fun game. People are buying it for a reason and playing it, and there's so many mods out there for it that I haven't tried yet. But there's so many cool mods out there that you can play that are like full games too, and that I'll probably have to check out when I actually buy the game. But yeah, I'm pretty close to beating that one, and then I actually played Gauntlet Legends last year on Dreamcast.
Hey, there we go.
And we almost beat that. We got to the last boss.
You played that with Janessa, right?
Yeah, I played it with Janessa and her siblings, and we got really close to beating the last boss. But
Is it Scarn or Scorn? It's the last guy, something like that.
I think it's Scorn.
Yeah, Scorn.
Scarn is from The Office, right?
I get my guys
Secret
mixed
Agent
up.
Skarn.
Secret Agent Scarn. Dang it.
In streams, you don't cross streams. Yeah, so we got pretty close to beating that. That was really fun. It was weird seeing the Dreamcast version because we grew up on the N64 one. I mean, the Dreamcast looks amazing, and I did play it on an emulator, and that looked even better. But yeah, it was a different play style too, and like different worlds and stuff that I had never seen, and so it was interesting. But,
So we all have to get the emulator, or we all have to get Dreamcast and play?
Get the emulator.
Okay.
Your computer should be able to run it, Hayden. Yeah, so.
Thanks for complimenting my computer.
You can play a Dreamcast game.
All right. Well,
Wow.
that's all I
Wow.
played. 2020. It's the biggest games I played.
You're not going to talk about Worms? Preston, you had your chance.
No, I'm not talking about Worms.
No, I don't think Worms is really him in this year. I think he played more Apex, Rocket League, stuff like
True.
that.
Good point.
I would have
Alright,
loved
right.
to play more.
Hunter, right? Aren't you next, Hunter?
Yeah, Hunter's next.
I am.
Last one.
Mm-hmm. What were you saying, Preston? You were saying something?
I would have loved to play more Star Trek Bridge Crew with Hayden.
Oh. It's calling you out, Hayden.
We
I've had it downloaded the whole time.
You know, you're just too busy playing Ghost of Tsushima because you just think you're so cool with your.
All right, let's not get personal here. I do think I'm pretty cool, but
all right, moving
Hunter,
on.
let's go.
Okay, so 2020 was a good year. I was able to knock a couple games off my backlog that I've wanted to play for a long time. I got a couple of good deals on Facebook Marketplace, and Walmart had a couple of games on sale. So I picked up Resident Evil 7. I really like horror games, like Evil Within and things like that. So I was finally able to pick up Resident Evil 7, and that game is sweet. It was actually a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be. Like, when it ends, you're kind of like, oh, it's over. Like, there is some DLC, but a really, really fun game. Like, super fun. And then I picked up Metroid Samus Returns on the 3DS. There's a guy that was selling it locally for like $15. So got that, played it like nonstop for a week or two. And I love playing games on the 3DS. Like I've basically only played Pokemon games on the 3DS and Xenoblade, but something about it. It's just so nice to be able to just close it and then go and, I don't know, go cook something or go work on something else really quick and then come back, flip it open, and you're good to go. And the Switch kind of does that as well with quick, just like going to sleep and then waking it back up.
They just need a flip, though. They need something to close it, right?
They do. You need like a little cover. Something about it. It's satisfying. So those two games I was able to play, and then Titanfall 2 when EA joined with Game Pass. Spencer said that the campaign is one of the best, and I played that. I have the game, like I have the disc, but I think Preston has it right now. But so I played
Thief.
the I played the multiplayer quite a bit when I had it, but I never actually. I played like the first campaign level, if that. Like I started it, but when it was on Game Pass and I got my Series X, that was like the very first game that I played. Played through it like it only took me like 2 days, but I played it like all day long, and so that game was sweet. Such a good campaign, and I really like. We're all into Apex and kind of that world, and so Titanfall 2 kind of just builds on that lore and kind of leaves it with like a cliffhanger. So I'm really looking forward to Titanfall 3 whenever that comes out. And then a couple other games that I beat. In November, I got Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, and that was kind of like no one knew that game was coming out until like it was like 2 months, 3 months before
The
it came
demo
out.
hit, and everyone was like, "Well, this game's actually good."
Yeah, super good. And a lot of people complained about like how slow it ran and like frame drops and stuff. Honestly, I had a ton of fun playing that game. I still have a couple of like random missions to beat like the main story. I've done a lot. There's a ton of just extra side content. So looking forward to still playing that game. And then another big game that I beat last year, if you can even say that I beat it, but Monster Hunter World Iceborn.
That
I
has a
played a
campaign
lot
to
of
it,
that
right?
game.
That has like a main campaign.
Yeah. You
Yeah, it
can't beat
does.
it.
Well, yeah, it does, but then after you beat it, they always add DLC. That's like still part of the main quest. And so that game is a lot of fun. Technically, I didn't beat the very last monster that they added because I could never get like a good group to play with me, but Fatalis is ridiculous and I could never beat it. But besides that, super
I
fun
beat
game.
it.
Hayden's a pro. But I played a lot of good games. So those are probably my top 5 that I had the most fun with.
Nice.
Good
Yeah.
job.
I had a lot more on
Thank
my
you.
list. I had like, I think Hayden and I probably had the most.
I got a
like-
couple of
Yeah.
retro games
I like 8
that I
other
did reviews
games.
for, but
Yeah, it was a good year. Like I haven't played. I haven't really gotten into single player games in a while. I think the last one I really got into was Prey, but that was back in like 2020 or
that was a while ago.
2019. It was like the end of 2019 that I got into that game, and before that, I can't even remember really like a first person game that I really got into.
It's because we'd always just go back to Skyrim. That was the only single player
Yeah,
game.
well, I'd either do Skyrim or I'd play Fallout.
Like Fallout.
Yeah, which those games just never like. There's an ending, but I just like mess around with those games. But I really took the time this year to really like go back into single player because I feel like I got into like a rut where I only ever wanted to play multiplayer games because I pretty much only played to like talk to you guys or like to our cousins and stuff like that. But then I was like, man, I got bored of it. Like I wanted to do something different.
Yeah, you need that good mix of.
Yeah, I need like a good mix.
At least I've realized recently that sometimes multiplayer games make you get a little too. I don't know. Like mad
Agitated.
sometimes.
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
get agitated.
Like agitated. So there's one of those games where I get off that and I go play Rocket League because that's a good like calmer
Yeah.
down. But
Mhm.
even that game now
Sometimes
kind of
with the
gets me a
tournament.
little agitated. So then, tournaments. And so if we get off of that, but I've leaned on a bunch of campaign games, and I feel like I've always been kind of that person. I've even like a while back, like I feel like I've always been the person to play those games like Dragon Age, and I don't know, I'm just trying to think of games like that. I've always loved them because, and they give you. I think there's a sense of just like you're not in a rush, and that's
Yes.
what multiplayer games kind
Uh-huh.
of are throwing at you. You're constantly having to worry, and you have to like you're with a team and stuff when you're playing a campaign game. Unless you're playing Doom, you're not really in a rush to do nothing else because in Doom I get like hyped up when I play that game. My adrenaline goes up
Music.
just because the music,
Going.
gun, like everything about it. So, but yeah, campaign games are still good in 2020 and 2021, and gonna keep going on for sure.
Yeah, definitely. So kind of moving along here, the next thing we have on our list is just the games we played the most, which they'll probably cross over a little bit from the games that we beat. But
Yeah, I think this
for
should
me,
be a
it'd
general
general
discussion
thing.
for sure because we've all kind of got this little bit because the games we played the most is obviously games we played the most together, I think.
Yeah, I think the most we probably played this year was probably like Rocket League and Apex, and probably Phasmophobia.
Ooh,
Yeah, I'd put that on my
I'd say those three are probably all of our most played, and then probably for you and Tanner would probably be more like Call of Duty.
Call of
towards
Duty,
the end of the
Cold
year.
War.
Yeah. Like Warzone probably
And
towards the
for you,
beginning of the year when like it first came out, like around March.
we were all playing it.
Yeah, but I fell off the Warzone train pretty quick. I didn't feel it as much as you guys did, or probably Tanner was the only one that stayed with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't too bad with like solos, but quads and everything was pretty difficult.
I really like
Especially when
watching
you have
it.
all those tryhards, and Activision wasn't doing great with getting all the hackers and everything
It's
off.
still a big problem. I see people talk about it
that's
all
still
the
pretty
time.
bad, especially in tournaments.
Yeah, that sucks.
It's kind of sad. You have all that money.
Yeah.
I know.
You can easily take care of that. I saw something that was like, I think Roblox even has like a cheating. I don't know what you call it, like a
Anti-cheat.
software. Yeah, anti-cheat. Yeah, they have Roblox has it, but then apparently Activision is not willing to pay for it, even though they've made billions of money off.
I know they put
War
barriers
alone.
where like you have to like set up a multiple accounts before like you actually can finally get into not multiple accounts, but there's like certain security levels you have to get to in order to just make an account through Activision, and once you do that, then you can get into a game. So they're trying to make it and like deter people from cheating because they have to make like an alternate account after they've been banned. So they have to like do this whole crap, and it has to be tied to like an email account, and I think even they have to be like tied to like a credit card now.
Dang, so you gotta do a whole process.
There's like a process. I haven't really looked up on it. I just remembered someone talking about it earlier in the year when they were having problems. But yeah, they can definitely do a better job at it. And I think I want to get back into it because I really like watching like really good clips from Warzone. And
Yeah.
like it'd be a fun game to get back into maybe later. I don't know. Is there any other games we played?
Call of Duty, Apex, Overwatch, Rocket League, Phasma. I think for you, probably Super Smash Brothers for sure.
Smash is probably my most played game of the year for sure. Yeah. But a lot of it came down to the montages I had to make. Not had to make, but I really wanted to make. But I had to get clips for it, and that made me spend a lot more time.
Take a lot of time, yeah.
Online with people that I did not want to play against, because it sucks playing Smash Brothers online.
So you're telling us you didn't play it because you liked it? You played it for the clips?
A lot of the time, yeah.
Do it for the clips.
There's a lot of time at night where I was like, I just have to keep playing this because I have to get clips for a montage. So it wasn't like super fun a lot of the times, but it was a lot more fun. I got into a Discord with Smash guys that made montages, and it was a lot more fun to play against them because they knew that we weren't just playing for like to the death. That's what it seems like when you're playing online with these kids that literally their life is just Smash Brothers, and they don't play anything else. They don't think about anything else. They don't dream about anything else other than Smash Brothers.
You dream about Smash Bros?
These guys do for sure. It's like ridiculous playing against them. So that wasn't fun, but in the Discord we were all just messing around, just trying to get clips on each other. So that was a lot more fun. I just was writing down some other games that we probably played. Animal Crossing I played a lot. Like right when it came out,
beginning of the year.
Yeah, right
From
when
like
it came
March,
out.
I guess I'd been like
March. Yeah, it's like March to the beginning of May. I played a ton of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, I played that almost every single day from the day it came out until like, yeah, probably end of May, maybe like June, around June. But man, I got like sucked into that game. I don't know what happened the rest of the year. I literally haven't touched it at all. I think that's how it is with most Animal Crossing games and games like that, kind of like Stardew Valley. I get sucked into them, and that was another game I played a lot of at the beginning of the year. Stardew Valley, I was like sucked into.
And we were both playing a lot.
January.
We started like a multiplayer game. We got like a month into the game.
I always get really into those. And then I just
something about it.
I get to Stardew Valley at least. I always get to winter. I've done it twice. On the computer I did it the first time. I get to winter and I just stop. And then on the Switch I did the same thing. I got to the end of winter. I think I actually got past it. But I don't know. I do everything that's possible for you to do, and then I'm like, oh, well, I don't know what to do from here.
Year 2, here we go again.
And year 2, here we go. Like I remember Harvest Moon, I played that way more. something about it, like there's a lot more that's drawn out, and like you don't get to a lot of stuff really quickly. Stardew Valley, I feel like you get all the stuff you need really fast. Harvest Moon, there's a lot of different events that are going on throughout the year, and you're always like looking forward to them. There's a lot of like dialogue between like you and like the townspeople. There is that in Stardew Valley, but I feel like it's more like detached. At least for me, it was like I wasn't really invested in those people at all. I didn't really care about them. Harvest Moon, I was more like invested in those people, and then like I cared more about them. Maybe it's just because
I need these people to be my friends.
at least for A Wonderful Life, because just because it was 3D and you have to like see the people like face to face and whatever. But I don't know. Then Phasmophobia, we all played that a lot. I kind of wanted to talk a little bit more about that game just because of like how it just came out of nowhere, and we played that a lot when it first came out. We still play it, but not compared to like at the end of October and into November. We were playing that like every other night, it seemed like, and like for a long time. It was like an hour or 2 hour thing. We would just sit and look for ghosts.
It was so scary. Well, we also got cousins into it,
Yeah.
and like basically the whole family was
The
playing it.
really
We got a bunch
interesting
of
thing
people at
about
work.
that game is that there's no achievements in that game. There's no like direction in that game.
Nope.
There's no like there's no story. It's literally you just go to a place, you get dropped off at a house. There's like 6 different levels you can go to. And it's almost the same thing.
You walk around really slow.
But like the cool thing about it, you walk around really slow. It doesn't seem like a game that people would want to play until you play it, and you like every single time you do it, it's going to be a little different.
Mm-hmm.
And you're always like looking out for that. What's going to make this thing be different than the last one we just played? Where's this ghost going to be? Where's the jump scare going to come from? What are they going to be saying to me when I'm talking to them through the ghost box,
The spirit box,
yeah. So I think that's what kind of hooked me into it.
It's like, is it going to be really timid this time? Am I not going to be able to find it, and we're all going to die?
Those are the worst. When you don't hear like anything, and then all of a sudden
You're like, okay, well,
Is
you're
it-
just gonna have to go one in at a time. Just one person's to go
Behind.
into the room, and you're like, okay, well, we're sending you in. We're gonna watch you, and just kind of monitor the situation. And then whenever that 10 drops up or jumps up in activity level, and you're like, oh, here it goes.
Uh-oh.
You start
your
seeing those
lights
lights
are
flicker.
flashing.
Try to run away.
That I don't know. I think that's a really cool game, and I really hope that they like keep improving it.
Yeah,
I can't wait
I'd
for
love
the
to see
future of
that
game
game.
because he's
Yeah.
improved it so much already.
Yeah.
Released a patch today. I mean, and yes,
Like every single day. Yeah, every day he's releasing patches.
and that's been
He could do better though.
They can only do better. There's a lot of cool stuff they have in store. It's just
Yeah.
one guy though, and I bet he's gotten flooded with. I don't think he was expecting this game to be as good as it was.
Mm-hmm.
So I think for one guy, he's probably doing the best he could, and I mean, good luck to him.
Good
stuff.
luck, sir. Phasma, dude.
Can't think of anything else that we played really a lot. I mean, Rocket League was cool with the tournaments. Just thinking of like different things that happened in the year because like Rocket League's still something we've been playing for a long time. Apex, since the day it came out, we've been playing it. Nothing really changed this year that was like crazy, and they added a new map. Some more
Olympus
legends.
is fun. I like Olympus.
Yeah, I just
Yeah,
feel like
Olympus is
I
really
feel like
cool.
there's a lot of stuff that I feel like they just need to switch up in that game, but
Get rid of
nothing
World
against it.
Kings Canyon.
Yeah,
Yeah, hey, it's coming back.
it's coming back, but I know
What?
a lot of the pros don't like Kings Canyon.
Oh yeah, for the next season.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
Crazy.
Tomorrow is the new season. Yeah, that's crazy. Didn't even think about that.
Oh, shit.
Played a little bit of Halo. The rest of the
Yeah.
Master Chief Collection came out for PC, so that was kind of cool.
Oh yeah,
I
that's
played
right. All the games.
that. Uh-huh.
That was
But other than that,
Overwatch.
PUBG.
oh, we played a lot of Overwatch. I didn't even add that to my list. Yeah, we played a
I
lot
think
of
I
that.
said Overwatch.
Did you say it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we played a lot. Overwatch is one of those games where we can at least reach out to more of our cousins and
Yeah,
friends
'cause
and
it's 6 people.
squad of 6 instead of a squad of
Like
3 or 4
fewer,
like most
yeah.
games.
Yeah,
So-
PUBG Mobile.
Oh,
Oh,
there.
Preston, hey, you can take
slow
that away.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played.
Did you still play PUBG Mobile?
Every once in a while. We're like,
Like between that and Pokemon Go, what did you play more in 2020? And Call of Duty Mobile.
Wait, what?
I'm saying out of those three, which one did you play the most?
Oh, which one of those did I play the most? Probably PUBG Mobile.
I played a lot of Madden too. I totally forgot about that. I played Madden
Oh,
just
yeah.
because.
Well, didn't you get the new 2K as well?
Yeah, but that goes along with the conversation of I got a Series X. And it came with my Series X.
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so I didn't get it until 2021, so I didn't play it 2020.
That's right.
Nice.
Yep. Thanks.
So I think the last thing we wanted to talk about before we get into kind of like current stuff and stuff in the future is probably just your favorite game that you played. It'll probably, again, tie up with the things we put in the past, but I just kind of want to like cap it off with kind of what 2020 was for you and what your favorite game was. We'll probably just start at the top again with Hayden.
Best game for 2020. I'm gonna go off of replayability and also story and stuff. Which I'll just say that I really did love The Last of Us Part 2, but it is like a linear story, and once you get it done, you're done, kind of. But it's like a great experience, great everything down the line.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Ghost of Tsushima is way more filled in with replayability, as in it's way more open, and it's not only pretty, but the combat's good. And then also, like, they've been working really good, Sucker Punch has. And so with the release of the multiplayer, which sucks because you guys don't have it, but it'd be fun to do 4-player Ghost of Tsushima.
Soon.
I haven't really had the chance to do it because it's 4-player online. And so I've heard, I watched something saying that Ghost of Tsushima, the development team, this was their multiplayer attachment was what they wanted to do from the beginning.
I was crazy
And
when
so
you told
you're
me that. I
basically
didn't know
getting,
that.
yeah, you're basically getting the game that they were gonna release, basically just
Original.
like a multiplayer thing,
Yeah.
and that's what they had. And so the game itself was great, and then you get this attachment, and then that big update that came with the multiplayer attachment brought stuff to the campaign also. So like they really did good with, oh, here you beat the game, well guess what, like here's all this other stuff. And so replayability and great game in general. I think Ghost of Tsushima I had a really good time playing it. I know Spencer wants to play it, but he can't. So yeah.
Tanner, what was your favorite game that you played in 2020?
Well, Cold War probably. I mean, I loved Modern Warfare, just because like the whole art style and everything. Just because those two are like very like similar like gameplay in a way, but also like very different art styles. Like they look totally different to me. Like when I got Cold War, I thought it wasn't gonna be that good of a game just because like I saw how it looked and I compared everything to Modern Warfare just because I like the multiplayer in that. I like playing hardcore team deathmatch and everything.
Mhm.
Even playing Warzone for a little bit, it was just weird to switch over to that different kind of retro. But definitely just like I think Modern Warfare was like my bigger one, but just because a lot of people aren't playing it anymore and everyone's like in Warzone or they're in Cold War, so haven't really gotten to play it a lot lately. But definitely for 2020, that was my big game.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think the media and people in general didn't like right when Cold War came out. Remember when we were like, should we get it? Because people were saying it was like such a downgrade from last year or something like that. And then we got it and like, what's going on? Even like from the start, like right when we got it, we were like, this is fun. And
I
so
know.
they've only gotten better and they're gonna keep getting better. And then Zombies is on there, so it's like,
I know.
I think
I love
good
how
campaign,
they
like
keep
you
on
said.
updating too.
It's
Like,
Treyarch,
they
right?
give new
Treyarch
zombie
always does the Black
maps.
Ops.
Yeah, Treyarch always does the Black Ops.
Like that, I think they're the best developer out of all of them, honestly. But
Well, they get that people play that game for fun, and sometimes it's like there's a difference between for fun and getting like too close to like real, you know.
yeah,
And so you got to find that middle ground. And I think they're doing good with Cold War when it comes to that.
Yeah.
What's that mode called where you like become the object and you have to like hide?
Prop hunt.
Oh,
Prop
prop
hunt.
hunt.
Prop
Yeah,
hunt.
that was a good
like,
addition.
I've never seen like a funnier game mode in a video game. That looks like so much fun.
It's just open and creative, and like you like
super
have to
creative.
be creative because people have learned the maps, and so it's like even harder. But it's still fun.
I'll just go next. I think the game I liked the most was probably Doom Eternal. I already talked about it, about how much I like that game. But man, I really don't know where they're going to go with that series anymore. I kind of felt the same way from 2016, just because I thought that game was really good. And I remember seeing the Doom Eternal announcement. We were at your house, Hayden, at Mom and Dad's
Yeah, I
house.
remember you still
And
saying,
I freaked out.
wait,
I was
that
like,
doesn't make any sense.
I
Why
was
are they
like,
even
what?
doing that?
Yeah, I that just literally came out of nowhere, and I just freaked out. I'm like, I know this is Doom. I can hear it's like.
That was at the Bethesda conference, right?
Yeah, I was at the Bethesda
We were like
conference,
over. Yeah, we were over at Mom and Dad's.
and I was like, no way. And
They
so,
announced another great game at that one too, then, right? Fallout 76.
yeah, everything just works.
No one put
right?
that in their top game.
Everything.
But I'm really excited to see, because I feel like they're gonna switch it up again, kind of like what they did with Doom 2016. So I don't see them sticking with what Doom is right now, just because I think people would get either too bored of like what the game is now. Like they already know that game is really fun. They'll just keep playing Doom Eternal if they want to go back to that type of game. So I feel like they're gonna switch it up. I don't know where they go
Who
with
knows
it.
now working under Microsoft, right?
Yeah.
Microsoft could probably take them and throw them in somewhere else and have Indiana Jones / Doom style.
I think they could go
game
back
come
to like a cool multiplayer with Doom, but I don't know. That game, Doom Eternal, was just so fun, and really excited to see where it's gonna go next. Preston,
Sweet, that's a good one.
what was your favorite game that you played?
I mean, I would say Half-Life Alyx, but I think Phasmo this.
I would say
Good
Phasmo was
choice,
your favorite
good
game
choice.
too, because you asked us to play it all the time.
It's fun.
Hey,
Don't
for a
blame me.
good reason
I like
though.
it.
Yeah,
For a
it's
good
fun.
reason, yeah, for sure. But he's definitely the one that instigates the knights to play it, which is good, because I really like that game.
Yeah, I really like it. I follow the Trello to see what things he's working on developing. And every time a patch comes out, I have to read it, and I watch people on YouTube playing it, and I'm just trying to keep up on what he's doing with it. And it's just a really fun game. Tried it in VR once. I don't think I'll ever do that again.
That's what I was gonna ask you. Yeah, you have it to be able to play in VR. I was about to say, yeah, that's like probably next level scary.
Yeah, that's super scary. And like,
I'd do it every night though if I had a chance. Just in my room by myself playing Phasmophobia. That'd be awful.
Yeah, I mean, VR is pretty nice for that game, but it's just, I learned how to play it without VR, and it's just how I prefer playing it. So, anyways, that's mine.
All right, well, Hunter,
I
you're
like
the last
it.
one.
Hayden's gonna give me a lot of crap for it, but
Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter. Yep, Monster Hunter World. I've never played a game that like I've wanted to. I don't know. It's like such a game you have to invest a lot of time in, because you have to like make sure you get the right build, and you like choose the right weakness. But I was always watching like every 2 months, they would come out with like a new monster. And like it's just so fulfilling when you beat a monster that's been kicking your butt for like. There was one that I played, and seriously, all day long, I couldn't beat it. And I finally had to like reach out to people on Discord, and I was like, guys, we need to get a team together, because everybody was having a difficult time with it. And so, because it's like a very elemental monster, and so you have to make sure your elements can like counteract it. And so many people online on that game don't understand elemental weapons, and so you had to like get a team together
You
on
ever played
Discord.
Pokemon?
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
come on now.
and the game basically like tells you like there will be like a big fire, like a fire thing will come out of its.
No.
No, it has like a big spear on its head, like a horn on its head, and so it'll like turn all fiery. And so that's how you know you need to use the ice weapon, and so but people just didn't understand. And so I played it for like 4 or 5 hours straight one day, and finally I'm like, I can't do this, because you get like 20 minutes in.
You never beat him?
And no, I did. I beat this guy. But you get like 20 minutes in, and it has a move that can one-shot the entire squad. And as a team, you only have like 2 or 3 lives to share between all of you.
Mhm.
And so if all 4 of you die at the same time, then the
Starts
hunt is
over.
over. Yep. And so you have to start all over. And it was so fun to finally beat it and to get like a little team. Like we were all like so excited. So it was like really
You
cheesy.
beat
but
it with those Reddit guys
the guys on Discord, yeah. I like
or
found
Discord?
a
I was gonna say. Well, you said that
team.
you saw a bunch of other guys that were struggling too. So I thought if you grab a bunch of other guys that were also struggling and you're struggling, wouldn't you just like not be able to beat it?
Well,
'Cause
struggling
everyone's
by yourself, right?
Well, yeah, we're struggling by ourselves, so we have the right weapon
with like
on
randoms
our
or something
team.
like that.
Yeah, and then the other 3 all have like a non-elemental weapon or like a fire weapon against when he's fire.
Oh.
And so it was, and he's like so hard, and so he's super fun to finally beat him. And there's a bunch of other monsters, but a lot of fun. I'm super excited for Monster Hunter Rise. Spencer said it should be coming out to not just the Switch, so I'm gonna
At some
wait
point.
until it comes out.
It's a timed exclusive, from what I've read.
From the interwebs. So I'm really excited to play that game. Played the demo, really liked it.
Mm-hmm.
The animations are just like Monster Hunter Iceborn. There's a couple of things that they changed. Like it's not a perfect game, but like the online could probably use some help. That's why none of you played it. But
Thank you.
if they can fix that in Rise, then it'll be a sweet game to play with everyone. So that's my game of 2020.
Nice. It was a good year, honestly. Like
It was.
2019, I felt like I couldn't even tell you, honestly, what my favorite game was. I mean, maybe Prey, but it was a slow year that year. So 2020 definitely turned it around.
Yep.
So we had some other things we wanted to talk about, just kind of like things that are going on right now, things that are happening with games in general, and then kind of like what we're excited about, because there's a lot to be excited about, but we're gonna try to keep it concentrated, keep it brief. So one of the things we wanted to talk about is just kind of like games we didn't get a chance to play that we might want to play this year. And this can just be a discussion. We're just gonna like kind of talk about it. We don't think it'll be one by one. And maybe games that we're just playing right now, and then probably games that we're looking forward to, and maybe consoles that we want to get that we haven't got yet, unlike 2 other people I know. So yeah, let's just
I still need to
Well, I
leave it up
know.
to a discussion
I
right now.
I want to talk about Control because I know Spencer. Just be-
Let's talk about Control.
That's one game I started. I've started so many games that I want to finish. Like Doom Eternal, I'm pretty close to being done. Control, The Medium. I was talking to Preston about it. I'm probably like halfway done with that. But that Control and Stardew Valley, I definitely want to play a lot more of. But Control, there's like a whole universe. I don't know, a whole like.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's Remedy's. It's Remedy's connected universe or something like that, or Remedy's something. Since they have.
But it's not
Alan Wake.
connected to Max Payne 1, is it?
No, I don't know. I didn't read about that.
I mean,
I
know
wouldn't-
they
I
made
wouldn't
that, but I don't
assume
think
it
they made
would.
2 and 3 or something like that. Yeah, I just knew Alan Wake for sure, but I didn't know nothing else.
For sure. But yeah, I'm really excited to go back to Control here in the next couple days and start playing that. The game is super fun.
Control.
Spencer Craig
I've
all day
been
about it.
playing it
I
quite a
beat
bit.
that. I beat that today, and it is honestly one of my favorite games I've ever played.
Oh,
Wow.
It is
he's throwing that out.
so good. I would say it's definitely in my top 10. I don't know where, but man, something about how they blend in like the sci-fi, the like government conspiracies, and just the how the game unfolds in like a Metroidvania, if you want to say it that way, type of way, where you have to upgrade your stuff to get to like the next level. Like you really can't get to another point unless you've gotten a levitation ability, or if you've gotten another like power or whatever. I love those type of games. I love Metroid Prime. I love Castlevania games, and so like that just is like the perfect type of game to me. And so when like you play something like that, and Prey had very similar gameplay aspects to it with like what Control is. And so, man, and it's like a sandbox almost because you can just you can go about the situation any way you want. I mean, you can't really do it stealthily if you want to do it that way, but you can just there isn't just like one way to kill someone. There isn't just one way to do something. You can just move it around. You can be floating around one way. Like every time you get into a situation, it's gonna be different. You can be like dodging over here, dodging over there. You can be tossing stuff at people. You can be just like using all these different types of guns you have, and so, and then that's just the gameplay. But the story about it is so good, and man, I haven't played something like that in a long time. Just something about when a game hits like that, it like changes like how you look at games, and that's usually when something gets in my top 10. When you like play a game and you're like, this is more than just a video game that you're playing. It's like a it's like a movie game book. I don't know.
All
There's
in
just
one.
there's so much to it that it's just like a crazy experience, and man, I love games like that.
Sweet. Control.
Sweet.
You guys definitely should play it.
I'm
Other
in
games,
the process.
other games you didn't get to play.
I put Spider-Man Miles Morales on there.
Oh, yeah.
because I wanted to
Did
play
that only come out for PS5?
but- No, you can play it PS4. I've actually seen them say it's not a big downgrade to play it on PS4. So I just kept on thinking I was gonna get a PS5, so I didn't get into it. But that, and I put my list was just real short, just Control, Breath of the Wild, and Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Breath of the
So,
Wild.
Yeah. Yep. A few games that I think Breath of the Wild will probably be lost in a little bit, and we'll kind of see. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nothing too crazy.
Anybody
I
else?
I put Doom and Doom Eternal on there
Yeah.
because I started Doom, but I haven't played too much of it. So,
Oh, that's fun.
Just those two for sure,
we
though.
could go on. We can go on about Doom and Doom Eternal. As Spencer already has a little bit.
I've already gone on too much about that
Good
game.
game.
I could keep
We don't-
talking about it forever, but
yeah, let's go on.
It's a good game.
it's just a good game.
Yeah.
I put on there Star Trek Bridge Crew with Hayden too. You know, just
Oh, there you go.
gotta
little
keep.
co-op.
Just going back out there.
Yeah, gotta.
It's a tough game. I'll be honest. I have no idea what I was doing. I just had to have you tell me what to do.
Yeah, I think we gotta play it at either.
Yeah, we have to actually sit by each other in our ship. You know.
We should get a green screen going, and then.
I don't think anyone wants to see.
You gonna
us,
dress up? Are you gonna dress up?
No.
Cosplay?
No one wants to see me in a tight Spock suit.
There's probably someone.
I'll put the ears on and everything. I actually have them ready to go if you want to do it
Captain?
right now, President.
Oh, Captain?
You'll be the Vulcan. I'll be Captain Kirk sitting at the.
Mhm.
Get a
You
get
know.
a nice little bald cap or whatever it's called.
Oh, it'd be Captain Picard.
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 But these are games that we didn't get. Like we want to just play more of, right?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Games you kind of want to play
Okay.
more of. Mm-hmm.
I also wanted to say games where we were like, can we just throw it in and mix it in with games we're looking forward to this
Yeah,
year?
for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I would say that list. I know Tanner's probably excited, and I looked it up the other day just to make sure. But or Ragnarok is supposed to be coming out this year,
God of
Yeah.
War.
so I don't know
Oh,
why they
really?
haven't said nothing about it, but it's still
They've been
saying
quiet on that
2021
game.
release
I didn't
date.
know that.
So, and Tanner, while we were here, he sent me the PS5. Tomorrow is when they do the God of War revamp, basically
the patch
to
for the
PS5.
60 FPS and 4K.
Oh,
Yep. So that's cool and exciting. And then so I'd say that for sure. And then Horizon Zero Dawn, if that's still 2021. So Sony's got a good year, mixed in with Halo, of course.
Yeah, at the end
I'm
of the
just throwing
year.
a few out there. I also can't wait for the Mass Effect Remastered Trilogy.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be coming up. And so I'm going to probably put a bunch of time into that. I want to see how they do it, too. If it's going to be like a total, like, they're doing
Train wreck?
everything over again. Or, or if it's going to be a train wreck. But I really want them to go all out. Like, if they did, like, what Mafia 1 Remaster did, and they just, like, redo everything, but also make it, like, a transition into like the next game. Like that would be so cool. Like you just finish the first one and then you go straight into the second one. No graphic difference. It just is like good graphics down the line. Like they haven't talked much about it, and so I want to see how good they're gonna do that, and if they're gonna just basically, it's EA, so you never know if they're just gonna get a money grab and just put all
Right.
3 games together, or if they're gonna really do it good. And I don't know. I think they've started to learn with the whole Star Wars Battlefront 2 how to listen to people hopefully a little bit better.
Well, just the team in general, BioWare, they really gotta earn people's trust back after what happened to Mass
Andromeda.
Effect Andromeda. And that was their last game, right? They haven't made a game since then.
I don't think so.
I don't
they
know of
haven't made a
anything that
game.
they've worked on. So
Well,
they have
no,
to.
it wasn't their last game. It was Anthem.
Oh,
Anthem. Maybe that's why I forgot it, because that game
Yeah.
was lost in my memory. That's
Yep.
true.
That was a 2019er.
You like
I would say
2019,
Tanner and I
dang.
jumped back into Anthem like a little bit ago, and it's fun if we get a squad on there. But I don't know. I
That's
think
crazy, I
that
forgot about that.
they just need to not be feeling rushed. I think Halo with Bungie's doing really, or not Bungie. I mean, Halo and 343 is doing really good with saying like they could have easily just put it right with the Series X and had a
Mhm.
whole Cyberpunk type thing happen, and then
No one
just
wants that
move
now.
on. No one
And
wants,
that's one
especially
game.
for
That's one game we
Halo.
haven't talked about.
Because none of us played it.
For
Yeah,
good reason,
Cyberpunk.
yeah.
We're
No one
waiting
really
for it.
played it. I've heard on the Series X it's playable, so I might. But as cheap as it's been getting, might as well wait a little bit longer and just be like $20 or something in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see. But 2021 is supposed to be a pretty good year for
Hey, Breath of the Wild 2
definitely
might come out
Sony.
too.
Breath of the Wild
Yeah.
2. I don't know how much. What about Switch guys? What do they have planned? Other than, isn't there like a Bowser game coming out right now? Like a, I don't know what it's called. Something about Bowser.
No, it's like it's an add-on to Mario 3D World. It's like Bowser's Fury.
Yeah, Bowser's
Oh,
Fury. It
that's
looks
what
really
it's called.
cool.
It actually looks really cool. I really liked Mario 3D World. Like I actually really liked that game.
It's kind of a cool mix. The Bowser's Fury thing is supposed to be kind of like a Mario Odyssey type
yeah.
world,
Uh-huh.
where it's like open world type. Like, it's a lot
So you like
big stuff.
step into that world, and then it's gonna be like feeling like Odyssey.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. A little bit, yeah. So yeah, they have that. Breath of the Wild 2. There's so many games that are like in development. You have Metroid Prime 4 in development.
I wonder if they're gonna announce another Pokemon too, because when did Sword and
yeah.
Shield come out?
So Pokemon Snap, they're like remastered
Oh yeah, that's
will
right.
come out
Snap's coming
in
out.
April, and
A lot of
then there
remasters.
should be the Diamond and Pearl remakes at the end of the year.
Ooh, that'd be nice.
Yeah, I'm just
So-
looking through a
I
list
played
right
the
now. There's a
most of
list.
Pearl.
There's a list on Wikipedia of like the games coming out this year, and a lot of them I've never even like heard of. I'm just looking through like January.
There's a lot of big ones.
There's some big ones. Like so far already this year, we have like the biggest ones are probably Medium, Hitman 3.
Oh yeah. I actually heard really good things about Hitman 3 also.
And two.
The Yakuza Remastered collection just came out.
Yeah.
That's supposed to be really good. I kind of want to get into those games just because I've heard a lot about them. A lot of these other games I don't. Oh, Resident Evil 0. I forgot. Is that coming
yeah.
out soon?
Village.
Village, and it's coming
Village is
out.
what we're excited about.
That's
Couple
true.
months.
Yeah, that game.
And then coming out in February, like another game that I played recently is that Cyber Shadow. It's like Ninja
Oh,
Gaiden.
yeah, you told me about that.
That game came out on Game Pass day one. You guys should actually try that game out. It's actually really cool. Haven.
Maybe.
Haven's supposed to be coming out.
That already
Mhm.
came out.
That's
That's
what I
like
thought.
Xbox.
It
that
says,
is on
well,
Game
I
Pass
guess no. I
PC.
guess for PS4 and Nintendo Switch, it's coming out.
Okay.
Skyforge is coming out for Nintendo Switch.
I know
um,
Sony has that Returnal game. It's kind of looking like a Dead
That
Space
game is gonna be
mixed
good.
with.
Little Nightmares
It
2
looks
is coming out. I forgot about that one. Didn't
The
you
Gollum
play
game is
Little
coming.
Nightmares, Hayden?
Yeah, I have it on PC. It's actually really scary. It's
Yeah.
like a.
Really?
Yeah, no, it's actually really scary.
I
don't know.
almost got it. It's like $3 or $4 on like CD.
If you guys might have missed it, I think they had it for Games with Gold
Yeah, I think it did.
just this past month. I don't know if it's still up.
Super Mario 3D World comes out in February for Switch. Trying to think of these other games. Fallen Legion. Never even heard of that game.
We'll just talk about the ones that you're most excited about. Like, which
I'm
we
just
basically
looking at these
already
games. That's something that maybe I missed. Persona 5 Strikers is coming out, but none of these games, like when you're bringing up like games I'd be excited about. Bravely Default comes out in February. I'm actually excited about that game. Bravely Default 2 is supposed to be coming out. I
That'd
need
be
to
cool.
play the first one on 3DS. That
When
game
you
just
said
looked really good.
It did look good. When you said Persona Strikers, I thought you said Mario Strikers for a second. and I was
Mario
like,
No.
Three.
I wish
need a new one.
that team just got bought out by, not bought out, but they joined like the first party team of Nintendo. They're not just like at some point they were just like a second party. Like they were Nintendo and they only made games for Nintendo, but they weren't like part of like Nintendo's like first party stuff.
Yeah.
They could make games for other people, I think, but now they're actually part of Nintendo, so they're gonna start putting money into them like a lot. With Luigi's Mansion, I just read today, Luigi's Mansion 3 has outsold every other Legend of Zelda game other than Breath of the Wild.
No way.
Yeah,
nah.
Wow.
yeah,
Wow.
that's crazy.
It's actually really surprising.
They have some really good games.
They've never made a bad game.
Are you
I've
sure
never
they made Federation?
Metro Prime Federation got a bad rap. I actually think that game was kind of cool looking, and when I played the demo, I thought it was pretty fun. But that might have just been that might have been a game that Nintendo kind of pushed on them. They're like, "Can you make a chibi looking Metroid game? We haven't done anything with that IP in a while, but let's just throw it in there, and then put it on the 3DS. It'll just sell."
They made the first
didn't.
Recon game.
They're good.
They made a lot of stuff.
Harvest Moon One World comes out. I don't know. That was the game I was kind of
Want
looking
to
at.
talk about that? No. That game looks bad.
Okay, yeah, we need to talk about some bigger games that are coming out. I got the whole list of
Samurai
what's
Showdown.
next. No.
I've got some. So I skimmed my Steam wish list, and you got the 2 building games too: Builders of Egypt and Pharaoh.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be excited because I haven't done. I don't know. I don't remember the last time I did a city
Builder. That's what it's called.
Minecraft.
I was gonna say Minecraft.
Just kidding. SimCity probably is the last thing if that counts as a city builder.
Logan was after you guys. Yeah. Minecraft. Have you played what's the game he's always playing? I can't remember.
Oh,
of them?
I have no idea.
Yeah, he played,
Yeah,
I can't even.
all the space involved ones.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's
The
one
Total
with
Wars.
Total
Yeah,
War.
We
Total
were
War.
playing Crusader Kings 3. It was pretty fun.
Anyways.
Just gotta get PS5.
Yes, sir.
I
What
think
games?
I think for PS5, which I was like thinking about, because like what I mentioned earlier, well, Hunter and I got Series X's, so it's so hard to say in 1 year. Well, because I got the Switch also, it's gonna be tough to say I got all 3 consoles in 1 year when I don't really need to, because Series X right now more than anything is more of an experience. It's not like a huge jump yet, but from what I've been seeing on like Digital Foundry and everything, that big step is gonna be coming soon. Like that, where we're gonna start seeing a real difference at least.
Yeah,
And so
right
I'm
now.
excited for that.
Yeah.
Now you see the little things, and it's more the experience. Like I told you the other day, where I was playing Control, and it was probably like a week ago. I unplugged it, brought it to our cousin's house. We played there, unplugged it there, brought it back home, and then just was like, I need to play Control, and it quick resumed on me for like, there's probably a good 5 days in between when I last played it, and it dropped me off right where I was. So I was like, that's like one of the things where I really love. I really love it, but then at the same time, I don't really need it. But I got it anyways, and so it's the same thing with like PS5. PS5 is like, I don't really need it yet, but at the same time, I'm actually really excited for God of War and in Horizon Zero Dawn, so it's like a bigger reason to get it.
Yeah, it's like one of the first times since like the Wii that you could play, and the Wii U, I guess a little bit, that you could play like all of the games from the generation before. But it's even better because you can play like every game that's ever been released for like that line of consoles, which is so
For
cool.
you're talking about like all the way back to original Xbox.
Yeah, all the way back to original Xbox. Like I saw a
Yeah.
post on Reddit of there was like an Xbox, a 360, Xbox One, and a Series X, and they were all playing Crimson Skies.
Crimson.
Yeah.
Skies,
Oh
yeah.
yeah. Mhm.
Land. Like, that's
That was on MVG. hmm
yeah, like that's so cool, and that's I really like the stuff that Xbox is doing, and PlayStation is kind of getting there. I think you could do some of the same things, but yeah, it's really cool.
It's good to see. I think people are saying like the whole console wars shouldn't be a thing, but at the same time, I think it's what pushes people forward. Like you
Oh
can
yeah,
see the identity that Microsoft has taken has
Yeah.
been the bring more games to people at a bigger, I don't know, like Game Pass in general has been the craziest thing because I feel like I start a different game every single week because I look at something new and I'm like, oh, let's look at this. So then at the same time, I'm like, I feel like I'm overwhelmed with too many, but at the same, it's like it's still really great to have that. And then so that's their identity, and then Sony's is still we're gonna push out really really good exclusives, and we're gonna basically jump ahead with that. And we're gonna rely on that, and so they're doing good on both sides for sure. And the Switch has always been the one that I feel like everyone just it's a family type thing and everyone just has it, It's just there. But also the exclusives are there too.
yep.
So
I was just looking at for the rest of the year, like some of the games I was excited about. Pokemon Snap, the new one, for sure. I'm gonna be into that.
Oh yeah.
Because man, that from the beginning of the Switch's life, I was like, why don't they just put Pokemon Snap on this thing? Or even with the Wii U, probably is when I first like figured it out. Like, why don't they just put that on the Wii U? Like, make a new Pokemon game, a Pokemon Snap game, and just make it on the Wii U. You can just use the controller to be the camera. That seems like
And
very
you had a
self-explanatory.
camera on. Like
And
it
you
had
had
a
a camera on it, yeah. So,
still.
man, I'm really excited about that game. Looking at that new Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Village,
Yeah.
for
Mhm.
sure.
Just
Just
we should all
because
be excited for Back for Blood.
Back for
Oh, yeah, that's
Blood
right.
will be
That comes out
coming
in like
out
March,
some
I
point.
think.
Mm-hmm. That's gonna be really exciting because I
Or
looked a
June.
lot at that game when they gave like an early release to a lot of like streamers, and I watched a
Mhm.
lot of videos about it. And man, I just really that was the one thing I wanted out of like a new not Fallout, Left 4 Dead
Left 4
game.
Dead.
Is that I wanted more focus on like the player having different like abilities or something like that. Something that gave it a
Right.
little bit of like a not a twist, but just gave you like more
Thing where you have like people that do special things.
yeah, you're just thinking about like the situation more, not just like going in. Like you do think about it before you get into everything. You're like, okay, this person be over here. You need to be watching this place for like a zombie infestation to come through. You need to be watching this area. Maybe you need to blow up like a tank or something. Or maybe throw down like a Molotov cocktail, something like that. You're still thinking, but with this one, you have more abilities, and you have like guys more of like a medic. You have a guy that's more of like a guy that like can tank a little bit, like stuff like that. So I like that aspect, and I think that'll be a really fun game that we're gonna be playing a lot this year for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What was the other game I was looking at? There's some games that I didn't even
Outriders.
like. What would you say? Outriders?
Outriders.
Outriders.
New game that's gonna be like
Oh, I did.
Doom,
Yeah, I did hear about
Max
that
Effect,
game.
and like Gears of War all in one.
Mm-hmm.
Looks really good.
Yeah, so that was like another game I saw in here because there's some games that have been announced but don't have a release date. And
Yeah.
like Psychonauts 2 is one of them, and that game has been like talked about for a long time. What was the other game I was looking at? The
Far Cry.
is it Far Cry?
Oh, yeah,
that's
that's
true.
Far Cry, yeah.
Well, it got
But it keeps
delayed,
getting
right?
pushed
Still to
back,
be
though.
It
determined.
keeps getting
but-
delayed.
Yeah, I think it'll probably get delayed to like Q1 of 2022 or something.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I don't know. There was that game. What was the other game I was thinking of? There was another
Gone.
one.
Oh yeah, the Golem game.
The
I
Gollum.
don't know
There's a
how they're gonna
Gollum
do
game.
that. I think it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't
weird.
even think about that. I didn't even. Well, I
Gotham
just didn't like
Knights.
recognize that was a thing.
Yeah,
It's a
Outriders.
weird thing.
Enon Zur is doing the soundtrack. If you remember.
Ooh.
They did that for
Fallout guy.
Fallout guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yep. So that'll be cool to hear what he's been doing.
I remember when I used to see that guy's name, I thought he was like a DJ or something. Like,
Introducing
Enon
Enon Zur.
Zur.
Yeah, he's got some good stuff. That'll be cool.
Axiom Verge 2 is supposed to be coming out sometime soon, I think.
Mhm.
That's the
Yeah, I've heard
do
about that.
you ever see Axiom Verge? It's kind of like Metroid or Super Metroid. That game's really cool. There was another game that I wanted
I
to
think
talk
we all
about.
need to take a moment of silence for Hogwarts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Get pushed back
Man, I got
again.
so mad about that.
What a disappointment, man.
I know.
Yeah, why is it a disappointment? It just got pushed back, right?
It's
Yeah,
it's
just
a
'cause it got
disappointment
pushed
more
back.
just because it's got pushed back because I was expecting it to come out sooner rather than later, and
Yeah.
there hasn't been a Harry Potter game since the last movie,
Yep.
which was back on like the 360.
Yeah.
So,
Lego games.
and those games weren't
The one on the Wii.
anything special. They were just like games being made just to make some money off of the hype of the movie. Really.
Yeah, they're all just based off of the movie, like exactly, but nothing
Harry
like
Potter
a
5 was
RPG.
great.
They all look really good, and they all like
Yeah.
like even
they're
back
fun.
even back in the day, like with Harry Potter 1 and 2, I actually thought those games looked good for the time, and they were fun games, and like they had cool music that was made by what's his
Jeremy
name?
Soule?
Jeremy Soule, this Elder Scrolls guy, and but I never played any of the other ones after that. I played one of them on the Wii. Was it 5? Was one of the games that
Yeah, 5 is where you could use the wand with the Wii remote.
Mhm.
that was kind of cool, but they're almost too gamey. If that makes any sense, they lean too heavy into like the game aspect of like a game. It's just like here's some like puzzles to do, and they're all like very
There's like
abstract.
mini games within it.
Yeah, like
to,
weird mini games.
make a potion and stuff like
the
that.
time. Yeah,
Yeah, stir
which
in
I,
the pot.
I want them. I want them to make the new Harry Potter game more of like a not like Skyrim, but that type of like you can kind of get
Open
lost in
world,
it.
really?
You get more,
Yeah.
more open world, and you kind of just get more invested in the game rather than just like go through the game, go through the motions because you know the story, type of thing.
Yeah.
And this one isn't gonna be
I think it'd
based
be-
off of like a movie, so I think that's
Yeah.
what'll help it a lot.
Yeah, more broad.
I think it'd be
Not
cool if they
storytelling.
did like the whole Muggle world, so you can like go back to like the real world kind of thing. But also, there's so many like locations, I'm sure, in like the actual like Harry Potter world.
That's what
Yeah,
I'm
it'd be
the
cool if they
most.
do
That's
kinda
the
like a
most excited I am about that game is that you'll be able. I want them to go to all the other schools. I want them to be able to like
Yeah.
go and like visit the places and like there's no like a whole new school like in Paris or something like that. Like there's like the
Yeah, Paris.
French people.
With
Yeah.
the
There's like the
with
Russian
it
guys with the dragons.
MMO.
Like
With it being an
US.
MMO, maybe you could be like I don't know. You have the option and with like DLC, kind of how Elder Scrolls has been still adding stuff like the Oblivion's opening the gates this week or whatever. Like they'll be able to do stuff like that for years if they do it good.
mm-hmm.
Well, because it's supposed to be in like the 1500s or 1600s or something like that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So like the U.S. school should still be around, so you could potentially even go there, which would be sweet.
Yeah, that'd be interesting.
Another game I've been thinking about is Hollow Knight Silk Song.
One of the games I need to finish.
Is that like a DLC or
No,
is
it's a
that like
completely new game.
It's been like
I haven't heard nothing about it.
Yeah.
that's the downside.
I
But
think they kind of
they-
went quiet. They really went into it. When was it? It was one of the Nintendo.
It's like 2019, I think, when they did Breath of the
Or
Wild
maybe it
as well.
was E3.
I think it was.
Mm-hmm.
They released like some game art and like a little bit of lore, like maybe 2 or 3 months ago on their Twitter
Mm-hmm.
or on their Reddit, and then they like didn't say anything else. Like because the whole
Yeah.
Reddit went nuts, and they're like, "Hollow Knight Silk Song, it's coming, it's close," and then all of a sudden, nothing. Like they haven't said anything.
No,
Yeah.
it's not.
Well, I think it's gonna be a good year. I think we had a lot of
Mhm.
like good like momentum going into this year, especially with all the games that, at least personally and like with us in general, we played a lot of fun games. And I was gonna mention one other game. Battlefield 6 was coming out this year, and that's one of the games I've been playing
really?
a lot more is Battlefield 5, because I really want to get into Battlefield right when it comes out this time.
Battlefield 6 they're saying they're bringing it back to Battlefield 3,
which is
style,
the best
and then
Battlefield for me.
reimagining. It's like they're
Yeah.
gonna try to imagine World War 3 basically.
and
Is what I
4.
thought.
That's the only thing I'm worried about, is that like I don't like when they get
Futuristic.
into like future stuff.
Yeah.
I like when the guns feel more realistic, and that's what I like about Battlefield 5 at least, is that all the guns are real for the most part. I think there's like a couple of them that are a little out there, and they're kind of reaching with like concepts that people had during World War II, especially the Germans. But they all sound very like meaty, because you can actually have the gun and get the sound effect from that gun if you just like shoot it, get a hold of
Right.
it. But man, I'm really getting into Battlefield 5 right now, and the last Battlefield game I really got into was Battlefield 3. I actually pre-ordered that game when I sold something. I think Hayden was the one that was mad at me. I sold something to get like money to pre-order it or something. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was Hunter's the one that got mad at me. I sold some game at GameStop, and you're like, "Why would you sell that game?" I'm like, "Because no one was playing it."
Oh, it was probably the game that Dad got us, the racing game.
Oh, it was. Yep. And I got rid of that
The one
game.
with the Wii wheel?
Yeah.
Excite.
I sold one of them, and I pre-ordered Skyrim and Battlefield 3 on the same day. And yeah, I loved Battlefield 3. And I really hope, if they are doing that they get the attachments right this time, because that drove me crazy in Battlefield 5. The attachments suck in that game.
Yeah, it's really weird.
I can never understand how
It
to
doesn't make
get
any
it.
sense. It's so
That's how I
convoluted.
want.
It doesn't make any sense. It's so stupid how they have it set up. And so I'm really hoping they bring it back to Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. The way they do attachments is perfect. So, but yeah, I think that's it. Unless anybody has anything else to say, I think it's a good way to end it on about all the stuff we played and stuff we're looking forward to.
And I
Anybody
think
else?
when we're saying we're gonna try to do a more podcast type stuff like this, like monthly, it's probably not gonna be as long as this, but it'll be a
No.
quick little update about what we did that month and what we're looking
And what
forward
all
to.
happened?
Yeah,
Obviously,
what
there's
new
new news
games?
that's gonna be coming out
Yeah,
all
for
the
sure.
time. You know,
We had a lot of stuff to talk about since we hadn't done one since last year, like beginning of the
it's
year.
like a year's worth of
Stuff that we
basically.
went over. So we'll just get that out of the way at the beginning of the year, and then we'll kind of just hopefully carry it along and hear from us again soon. So we'd like to hear back from people too, if anybody wants to listen to us. And
Anyone
gets
made
to
it
the end
this
of
long into
anybody
this
gets
video.
this
Made it
long,
this far in.
we'd like to hear back
Probably
to see
just
if there's
Mom.
anything you'd want to hear from us, and anything you want to talk about, because there's for sure going to be stuff we can talk about. There will probably be a lot more games that we'll be playing just within a month even. So yeah, hope everyone enjoyed the podcast. Hope everyone's having a good 2021 so far, and talk to you
Stay
all
safe,
guys. Yeah, stay safe, as they say
Stay safe.
in these times. But yeah, take it easy.